Today is still May 5th, 2025. You know, last night I probably slept like an hour. I was so tired. But I stayed up. And since I could hear people outside, I went over how I got sick, okay? And with endometriosis, the kidney surgeries, um, and then all the other surgeries, my muscles clenching, to the medication errors, the medical malpractice afterwards, and that's documented fraud, medical malpractice, medication errors that made me sick and swell up and have heart attacks, seizures, and they were just ripping me off. This documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. If I would have sued them, I would have been a millionaire, and they would have been in jail for like 50 years. You do realize that. And I went through all that. Then I went to where Keith's service was of killing Jezebel in 16, and that he had erased part of it because it was so bad. Then the money disappearing in 17, the 4 attempts on my life, moving up there, someone breaking in my home within the first 6 days and waking up with bruises, throwing up, severely infected and blaming the dirty well water I'm showering. I think it gave me cancer. Um, Leading up to calling the FBI, that agent going up to Apostolic Church of Barberton, telling on me for calling the hotline for he talked to me. Admitted it on a recorded line and how he talked to me, how he had met with that family in his office, all those church people, and then made fun of me for some guy named Pete running a scam on me. I didn't even know who he was talking about. I still don't know 100% who he is. It's that bad. Okay. And then the dirty doctor thing, and I thought it was the other lady using my insurance. And I went through that. Then even where Michelle's boyfriend found out through Dave, got it out of him, it was his girlfriend from before me made him marry me to get a job at my dad's factory so she could have free insurance. The lady using my insurance was his girlfriend before me. Run up all those bills. And because back then you didn't show ID, you never showed ID. You could go in and fill out a brand new doctor. Just go in and write out your information. You didn't have your medical card, call it in later. You never had to show anything. That's how people used to have surgeries on other people's insurance, and they would only find out if something bad happened to that person or they died. And then the other person had to come forward that they were committing insurance fraud. I went over how she was even using my prescription card, because even nowadays, I can go to Walgreens. I never show ID. I just give them my name and address. Couldn't get pain medicine filled because she had already got pain medicine filled. Okay. Back then, the only time I had to show ID is for the fentanyl patches because it was fentanyl. You could get any kind of like narcotic prescription medicine, and you didn't have to show ID. But when it got up to fentanyl, you did have to show ID. That was the only time. You could go in and have a procedure. You could have hospital stays. You could have surgeries. Go start a new doctor. You never showed ID for nothing back then. That's how people used to commit identity fraud and insurance fraud, because they didn't ask for IDs. They didn't even have to forge a new ID. You just had to go in and tell people who you were. Okay? And okay, so I go through all that last night, and then how that agent made fun of me, how he knew they were trying to kill me. He didn't arrest them. He had met with that family in his office, all those church people, da da da. I know they're trying to kill you. Conspiracy to commit murder is a federal crime. He had already told the Apostolic Church of Barberton that he knew I was being drugged, beaten, raped, and didn't care because of Stranger's Lot. The FBI showed up April 19th, 25 in Hartville Flea Market. That these people were so dumb that did this story, you wouldn't believe how dumb they are. That they When she called the FBI hotline, they immediately walked into an FBI office and confessed what they were doing to her. And they were legally monitoring her and already knew she called the FBI. Yeah, there was never staying quiet. So they told Agent John to act dumb and go up to that church and tell on her to find out who's all involved. It was supposed to be an act to fool the bad guys. He wasn't supposed to become dumb. And see, that's the whole thing. And then I've talked to the prosecutor's office, I've talked to the police, and I've talked to a criminal attorney. He's only a higher police officer. He don't even have the authority to ask you to stay quiet. It takes a judge, due to the freedom of speech, to put a gag out on you. And then why would he ask you to stay quiet when he's already confessed on a recorded line? He's already talked to everybody and everybody knows. Then it makes it stupid. My friend from the prosecutor's office he's just trying to bully you so they get away with it. Keep you quiet. But everybody already knew. And he went and told hundreds. That became to the point of stupid. And they still run with that, where he was supposed to just be an act. They run with it. But he said she couldn't say anything. He's not God. He was an act. It's actually illegal for him to talk to me that way. It's tampering with a witness, tampering with evidence, and obstruction to justice. I talked to sheriffs out of this area. They want to know why our police did not arrest him for telling on me and talking to me like that. That's major jail time. If it wasn't an act to fool the drug dealers, he would be in so much trouble with the police and the FBI and the Department of Justice. He'd be in jail a long time if it wasn't an act. Okay, so I go through everything, even when I go to what happened after the FBI, to being that old man showing up trying to pull that he used sodium pentothal on me, where I had a bruise on my leg and I was sick, and said he worked for Dave and threatened me if I try to leave him. Then I went through where other people showed up, where you had bruises before, throwing up, and in fact that it was us. We were drugged, being raping you. It wasn't the well water. We had drugged you and told you to say this. We had drugged you and told you to say that. And laughing how they framed me. They said they photoshopped all their lies, raised some guy named Chris out of the room. By January 19, it was effeminate wipey above the toilet. By 21, it was a shower scene and washing yourself in the other room. That they had photoshopped that and put clips together. To all the times of being drugged and told to say that dirty, filthy statement, laughing in my face. And I'd never seen her talk to anybody. You know, my one friend said, I hope they're only playing with you. They really didn't do that to you. Well, apparently they did. They even admitted in 18 and 19, the doctor they were using was for the drug cartel, the Florida drug cartel. And he was running experiments on me and even using experimental drugs. And that's why I was losing so much weight. When they were stabbing me with the date rape drugs, he was adding it. Do you know how dangerous that is? Okay, they already confessed in 18 and 19 it was a Florida drug cartel doctor. Where they're finally coming out that that doctor was never mine. He worked for them. They just lied. Well, they already said that in 18, 19. Okay? So then we're going to go to, where I was almost shot in the head driving, stabbed in the neck, bashed in the back of the head. I got a ping in the back of my head the size of a ball peen hammer. And beaten right and left for dead. That's where Michelle confessed she was part of that. On 12/20/118, they had tried to kill me or leave me incompetent. And it didn't work. And she had even told an agent that that doctor wasn't mine. He works for them, and they had lied. He had got it out of Dave that it was his girlfriend from before me, made him marry me so he could get a job at my dad's factory. And that so she could have free insurance, and he could give her extra money. My whole marriage was a scam. He even got it out of the Vegas where they told people they were offended because he called me a faker. It didn't even concern them. They just lied so people would help out. I even went through like the gunshot night to being human trafficked, to being raped and tortured, warned to stay quiet, that the Florida drug cartel was at Faith Family Church, 3,000 people seen them, They worked for Judge Peters, and they were bragging they were the ones, Michelle was with them, and they were selling the login to the case. And they were the ones bragging they were doing it to me before. I went through, after the rape and torture, to a year later when I went up to the courthouse, went up and called my sister on purpose because I know some of the guys work the case is up there, and two of them had walked out of a business and said something. And then when I went in the courthouse and talked to Abigail Watkins, Portage County Prosecutor's Office victim activist, the guy with carrying around the house, the FBI case came up and showed up and talked to the lady officers there. See, that's where the police had told me, I don't, you are an FBI informant. Time, dates, witnesses for them to pull the evidence. I don't care if you have to make a journal and hide it. Times, dates, witnesses. You're an FBI informant. I don't care if they deny you. You're still an FBI informant. And don't ever forget who you are. No matter what happens, you are an FBI informant. I got lectured by the cops that worked my case. Don't ever forget. I don't even care if they deny you. You're still an FBI informant. Times, dates, witnesses. Okay? Okay, so I go through all this, okay? I went in more detail last night. Took a couple hours to go through everything. Screaming outside where I was working. They did what? Some guy said the guys we hired to watch her to help do what? They said it was a Florida drug cartel. Ooh, yeah. Some guy sounds like my friend Walter from the prosecutor's office. He was outside where I was working after I got married and said, I heard Karen got married. He sounds just like him. I didn't look and see who it was. He was outside last night. He said, I was afraid they'd try something again with what she had told me what had happened. And they said, well, the FBI is trying to say she couldn't say anything. They can't do that. He even said that. They can't do that. No, because why? We're on April 19th. These people are so dumb. She calls FBI hotline. First thing they do is walk into an FBI office and confess they already knew. And they were illegally monitoring her. And trust me, nobody fell for the dirty doctor scam of taping you unaware, confessing your crimes, and sat on it till Dave wanted a divorce. And then it sounded mechanical, and we knew it wasn't even you. It was them. It's voice alternator. Copy your voice and then speak through it. It sounds like you, but it's a little off. They did it to the agent Will. They did it to Carl. They're supposed to have a Karen app. You can get them on Google Play, Amazon, anywhere, okay? And people were screaming outside, don't say a word. Because when you go through everything that happened, people are like, when you hear everything that happened to her, nobody blames her for calling the FBI. Where the FBI on April 19th, 25, was talking about how dumb these people were coming in and confessing that they were illegally monitoring me and already knew. Told Agent John to go up to that church and to tell on her for calling the hotline and act as dumb as them. He was told by his superiors to tell on me and act dumb to find out who was involved. It was supposed to be an act. They knew there was no staying quiet. It was just like my friend Walter from the prosecutor's office to the police officers I talked to, the sheriffs I've talked to the criminal attorney. He doesn't even have, that agent don't even have authority to ask you to stay quiet. Huh? Well, I already confessed he told. He can't even tell on you. But you get freedom of speech, you can tell however you want. It takes a judge to put a gag order on you. He was only bullying you. They all said that. See, he was supposed to be acting like a crazy occult person so he could find out who they had hired and who all was involved. And like the FBI said, trust me, we all knew how not funny this was when that group showed up and said they worked for a drug lord and Dave hired them. Okay? And they said nobody fell for the weird with yourself. We knew it was photoshopped or washing yourself in the shower. And we knew they photoshopped everything. But if they were going to be that dumb to try this with us, it's the FBI, for God's sakes. You can't fool them. You can't even fool the police with something like that. Like the police have said, we always knew they drugged her and told her to say it before. We knew if they photoshopped that shower scene of washing herself, you could tell they photoshopped it. Where the FBI said they knew they photoshopped it. You didn't fool any law enforcement one bit. They've been trying to get the drug cartel. No, FBI, I need my money. Some guy last night, he made me so mad. He said, he actually had enough nerve to say, well, I didn't give her money because I didn't want her to go out and blow it. It's none of your damn business what I spent it on. Because otherwise, I want your paycheck. I don't want you to blow it. I'll hold on to it for you. You can go out and get a second and third job to pay for your rent, your car, maybe a fourth job if you really want something else. And I'll hold on to your regular pay because I can't risk you blowing it. You know, that's where people talk and they sound like retards. Huh? Like the prosecutor's office, criminal attorney, it's for working the case and getting them information. And my God, getting them information on Dave in the churches, my ex-husband, abusive husband, and his freaky friends is one thing. Drug cartel, drug lords, human traffickers. I'm only a little informant. I was 51 when this started. Someone who was being drugged, beaten, raped under drugs and was so drugged up wasn't even realizing what was happening. Doctor didn't even think of a rapist. Didn't even think of a rapist. When I told them that was what was going on, they're like, is that what caused all that? Because I had severe swollen personal infection, blaming the dirty wall water I'm washing it. Throwing up, dizzy, giant bruises, muscle pain. They're treating me for being anemic. Stuff for headaches, throwing up. All the signs of being drugged, beaten, raped, and nobody thought of a rapist. Like a nurse said, we all know rapists do this, but we try not to lead there. Society has changed so much with the human traffickers. It's not like it was 8 years ago. These human traffickers run scams on people. They hurt people. They sell them. They kill people. You have to think of the worst and then you can dial it back. Somebody comes in confused and don't know where all the bruises come in. They're severely infected. Think of rapist. And if it's something else, you can always dial back. I like my money. My grandson, Daniel, my family was such a close-knit family. I loved my life. God, haven't I loved my life? My children, my grandchildren were always over at my house. We'd have cookouts. We'd have dinner. Everybody would sit around the table and laugh and talk. We were always over at Danny and John's. They'd come over to my house. We would go out to eat. We'd go pick up the kids from school. Go walk over there, go for a walk around their block, pick up the kids to go for a walk. We'd go pick up the kids just to go get them ice cream. Josh would come over with whatever girl he was with, sit and play cards with Danny and Jen, or with Dave and him. and Danny and Jen while the kids watched TV or played video games. And everybody would laugh and talk for hours. I love my family. They were my heart and soul. My grandkids at 10 were loud, happy, excitable in your face. Hey, Grandma. Hey, Grandpa. Did you know this? Did you know that? Did you know this? Did you know that? Hey, I want to go here. Hey, I want to go there. We were like their second parents. And all of them were happy, outgoing children. Daniel and Tyler, I was gone for a long time at different parts. Didn't know why. Then Jen's mom and dad both died. They fled the country and they retreated to their rooms. I started going over there more. And sometimes they wouldn't even come out of the room but to come grab the hamburgers I brought over to drop off. Okay? And my new husband, Carl, and I had been taking Daniel out. He came out about a month ago, walked out to the car. I said, "You came out of your room." He said, "Well, I need to have a talk with you. Emotionally, I'm not okay." I said, "Well, let me turn off my car and I'll come in." And he said, "I can't stand being alone." And I said, "Well, I can start showing up more. Carl and I go out to eat a lot. We'll just pick you up and take you with us, and then we'll take you to the stores. Would you like that? Like you used to when you were little?" He said, "Yeah, I'd like that." And he's getting better, but he won't trim his nails. He won't hardly bathe. He hasn't brushed his teeth in 2 weeks. He's got cavities everywhere. I need my money, FBI. Danny's got insurance, but I'm probably going to have to pay for an oral surgeon to knock him out because he's scared of everything to fix all his teeth so he has teeth. It's probably going to take crowns. And I want him to start feeling good about himself. We had a long talk a couple weeks ago when we went out. He was hardly talking at the restaurant. And I had a talk with him the other day too about it. I said, bad things happen. Horrible bad things happen. There's nothing you can do. They just happen. And sometimes you can't do anything with it. You just have to set it off to the side. And you just got to leave it there. Do you know what happened? It's right there. But you got to learn to live around it. You have to learn to be happy. People will come and go in your life, your whole life. And the people that love you will stay, and then there'll be other ones that'll take their place. And you just got to learn to be happy with where you're at and realize life is okay. And it's okay to be happy again. And I said, and where your grandfather chose to leave the country, that was his choice. I said, you just need to let it go. I couldn't tell them, FBI. Let's see. Grandma's been working as an informant for the FBI. I almost got shot in the head driving today. I slammed Captain Sword. By the grace of God, he almost ran me off the road, dear God. Oh, there's a shooting night. I had to hide not to get killed, and your grandfather helped kill 2 people. Oh, I faced 6 stalkers. Oh, people were bragging that, or I was raped and tortured 2 weeks ago, and that's why I haven't been out of the house. Oh, I'm being human trafficked. My God, help me and hide me. I had 6 stalkers come at me. The reason why I'm losing so weight, the drug cartel's keeping me drugged up till I can't even keep saliva down. See, it wasn't one of your agents. It was a little informant, a little old lady that called for help that was scared. betrayed on every level. And you got thousands of bad guys. You got Judge Peters out of Florida. The guy that was dating Michelle got Michelle to confess she was part of trying to crush my head. And he even was saying, we all know she even got him Trakasami, where Michael Peterson was calling me on 21 through a dating app, how he was smuggling oil into the United States as a third party. And I kept telling him I didn't believe it. Prove it. And he actually sent me a letter of allegation in Western Union transfers. And I sent it in. Even though the police and the FBI were taping, I sent it in. And he was arrested last year. And that was November, December 21. Like they said, we all know she got Trakasami arrested. They called down, wanted to know about Michael Peterson's shipment. They said it wasn't legit and they'd find out what's going on. Trakasami was stealing from his government. And he got arrested. I got a terrorist arrested. My God. Not bad for a little old lady. I showed the stuff that Michael Peterson sent me. He's like, what an idiot for giving you all that. I kept goading him like a kid. I don't believe you. Prove it. I need my money. I need a safer place. I had a lady the other night outside my work where that one guy talks to that Indian family, pulls up and has them on speaker. It was a lady this time. She even said that she told that place down there not to rent to me and Carl, where I wanted to move out of this area. You don't have the right to keep me anywhere. FBI, I do need a new social. We all know the cartel has it. They have all my ID. I need a new car phone, not bugged by craziness. And the life of peace I was promised. And you got thousands of bad guys. You got Judge Peters out of Florida, 100 human traffickers with him. The marshals used the case, got 800 in one sweep where they're all around me. I need my money. This case has been heart-wrenching. Finding out my whole marriage was a scam. Finding out my 2 children were in it with Dave the whole time, where Dave's threatening to kill him, and I'm desperate to get the evidence on these people. I went out and recorded my own witnesses. I knew the police and the FBI were there, but I thought if I end up dead, at least they'll live and they'll get stopped with me. I laid my life down to save them, and I almost died several times. And to find out my 2 older boys were in it with Dave and his girlfriend, and for her enjoyment, having me drugged, beaten, raped, and almost murdered, and for that stinking occult he went to, hiring the Florida human traffickers to run the scam. As a mother, wrapping my mind around that, my heart, my stomach is clenched. Put them in jail. I was willing to die as a mother to save them. But if they're willing to kill, to be in with the human traffickers, having somebody drugged, beaten, raped, drugged and framed, photoshopping as asinine. For Dave's girlfriend, entertainment, trying to help their father get everything, and have their own mother murdered. Put them in jail. Selling, the Florida human traffickers admitted they sold kiddie porn of my grandkids going potty. Put them in jail. They want to be human traffickers. They want to be killers. They want to harm people and try to extort money. Put them in jail. My heart has just been so wrenched on this case. And I'd like my money. And we all know Agent John was only supposed to act this way. I'm so proud of Danny and John standing up to Dixie and saying they had no part of this, and they didn't know about the no shower scene. They told some lady they didn't know about no tapes before, and they weren't part of it, nor will they have anything to do with it. And that's what the other two should have said. That they had no part of it, and they were not part. They would not have anything to do with it. And that I had giant bruises, and she had seen them, and she's realizing what was going on, and she wants no part of this. And that's what the other two should have said. You think out of the protection of their own children and their own existence, they would have told us, we're staying out of this. But the lure of endless amount of money that the cartel had promised them for helping out, they were willing to kill, drug, beat, rape for money. Would you for money? Or would you look at it like Jen? We want no part of this. I'm so proud of her. And she don't even know everything that's going on. My God, Officer John or Officer Mark, if they arrest Josh and Dixie and then Melissa, you're going to have a talk with Danny and Jenna. You are going to have to get us all out of here. They will kill us. Oh, in my statement last night, I went through where that guy, the tall guy with white with black hair, showed up down on my mom's at 19 looking for me. He said he was looking for his girlfriend. Was hanging around my mom, stalking her, beating on her trailer at night. Her minister yelled at him, "What are you doing around Joella?" And instead, I'm waiting for my girlfriend. You can wait somewhere else. I catch her around Joella again. We gotta go to the police department. They'll take care of you. And he left town. Showed up after I went to stay down at my sister's in March of 19. And I told you, you know what freedom is. It's living your life without fear and interference. I went down to my sister's in 19, and my dad was still alive, and he was really ill, and she was down there. And the next morning, when I got up, everybody had already left, and I walked outside with my puppies. It rushed in. You don't know what freedom is until it's gone. I exhaled, and everything was gone. I wasn't afraid for my life. There was no. I exhaled. It's freedom. Not being afraid. And I looked up, and there was was the drug cartel. They were right by my mom. Followed me through town. Followed me back to our mobile home. And I got back to my sister's, and I sat out in the car. They're here. It's a tiny town. Middle of nowhere. A tiny town. They're here. Gunshot night. Almost shot in the head driving. Stalkers coming at me. Home invasion. They went to the wrong house, and they were surrounding mine. It was terrible. You could hear sirens in the distance from all the gunfire. Or they would have killed me. That one guy said they chased him through the backwoods till he made it to a neighbor's house and called the police. You could hear sirens in the distance. At a hide not to get killed that day. And I thought, they're here. I can't let them die. It's my fight, not theirs. And it took me an hour to put that car in gear to come back, but I couldn't let them die. My mom said cars started sitting down from her mobile home, started following her around town, beating on her mobile home at night. Tall white guy with black hair showed up. I was following her. She went to church. He pulled in. She went and got Brother McGee, walked out and said, "What's your problem around Joella?" "I'm waiting for my girlfriend." He said, "You can wait somewhere else." I catch her around Joella again. "We got a good police department. They'll take care of you." He left town. They went looking for me. See, where people forget, they tried to kill me. more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times. It's by the grace of God in my life. Karen around the house, Karen's will is part of the nationwide human trafficking scam. The marshal showed up January 20th, 23. Maddie's friend on the police department, 2.5 hours away, knew of the case that agent opened, got a hold of the U.S. Marshals. They showed up and announced themselves. They got 800 people within 3 weeks, all caught under police surveillance. My case is like bad guys on a platter to law enforcement. Like they said, the way the case that agent opened, it is legal police surveillance. It's a threat and attempt to life case for an FBI informant with statements, with a court order for protected custody. It can't be disputed the sheriffs have been taping this. It stands up in court without her. See, where these people were running around, oh, well, we're in a reputation, so she can't testify against us in court. They never wanted me to testify against you in court. They wanted that court order for the legal police surveillance, and then me left there for you all to confess under police surveillance. They tricked you. Get over it. Where you thought you were bullshitting them with your stupid scam, they bullshitted you back. It's the government. Now that all this bullshit is thrown everywhere and they got so many human traffickers, I need my money. My new husband, Carl, when school gets out, is going to try to get Daniel to go down and help work on this farm, help him rake hay when he cuts it. See if we can't get him some sunshine, fresh air, and some extra food, because he's so thin, he doesn't look 120 pounds. He says he's 130. He's 6 foot tall. And almost all his teeth are bad. I need my money. I'm going to probably have to pay for an oral surgeon to knock him out and fix his teeth, and probably a lot of them's going to need crowns. I want him to feel good about himself. Quiet, reserved teenagers that are sad and they're 17 and they're not eating, bathing, and not even cutting their nails. That's scary to me. That is scary. And I am just taking him out to eat and trying to reassure him that life is okay. He starts coming out of his shell. But if my little intervention don't work, I'll have to talk to my son. But so far, it's helping some. And I have you idiots around me, and I have enough to deal with. Cartels showing up laughing at me. But FBI, I need my money. I earned it 100 times more, and I like my truck. I saw me money. Definitely want my informant money. Because I need it to fix that baby's teeth. Okay? I'm going to upload this. But I told you, that guy said the Indian family that bought me. I told you March 20th, March 22nd of 25, that guy was talking to him on the speaker, said some guy named John showed up and told him all. By the 23rd, they said, some lady, attorney said that, he didn't disclose he was an agent. Nothing he said was, admissible. Well, yeah, it is. He went over, told you off for being a jerk. And what you said to him after that's your own damn fault. But if you pull the card tapes, and then I know you know who was talking to him, Agent John found him. But officers, you want to know who that family is. It won't take you a hot second to find them. And I told you about 3 or 4 years ago, the 3 young African American guys, they were in their 20s. They had dreadlocks, short dreadlocks. They showed up and they announced they bought me from the cartel, and they paid them not to kill me. They took their money together and paid the cartel not to kill me. And that no one was to interfere in my life or touch me, that they paid them not to. And one of them showed up on Saturday? What do you mean they sold her to two other men? We paid them not to kill her. Last night, some guy was outside. I heard they'd been selling her to all kinds of men, not letting them pick her up. Well, that 1-3 group, they never wanted to pick me up. They just didn't want me to die. And they were just being kind. Could you imagine 3 young guys taking their money and paying a cartel not to kill me? That was very sweet. I've been mistreated so bad. They showed up last year and said something, and then when Dave left the country, they showed up. It's not like any of us were going to let him keep that house after what happened. He needed to flee. And then I told you January 25th, 2019, Legally Bugged House. Some guy is supposed to be African American, paid 25 grand for me. People in the last few weeks, I went down in Carrollton, and they said they have already sold her to at least 2 men, and they're afraid somebody's going to grab her. And I told you the riffraff is impersonating, I heard now, the Starr County Sheriffs. They have always been impersonating the Portage County Sheriffs and the FBI. And they were down in Carrollton. I need you to get a hold of like the Carrollton Sheriffs and make sure they haven't been down there trying to pull their dirty doctor scheme. Carl's attorney, I seen one of the riffraff walk in there, and I told Carl he'd been around me since 18, and that idiot in my old apartment trying to start his own little personal hate crime. He is so proud that he was in that agent's office defrauding him. He knew that wasn't my doctor. He knew it worked for the Florida Drug Cartel. He knew it was an altered confession. He knew they photoshopped that shower scene. He was, like he breaks to the neighbor, he was there from the beginning. So he knew this was all a scam. And he was in there scamming the FBI. But he cannot keep his mouth shut. Oh, that doctor from before has her tape saying blah, blah. I heard about that years ago, and they already admitted years ago they drugged me and told me to say it. He's trying to pull his own little scam here, thinking he's this big, godly man out hurting people, scamming the FBI, and trying to get any moron to listen to him that any of that would even be legal. And there's a moron he can find every minute to listen to him. But he thinks he is so great, run around telling the neighborhood. Some doctor taped her before saying, ring, 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 ring. You know, they already admitted years ago they drugged me and told me to say it before. They framed me. They photoshopped their lies. They used to scream it on the streets of Louisville about Melissa's lies. Canton, other places. See, this is where it's the old scam. They keep trying to bring it back up, bring it back up, bring it back up, bring it back up. Still trying to set off hate crimes. You know, where he said that church is setting out emails asking other religious groups to show up to harm me. His religious group shows up to hurt people. If you were a good man or a godly man, you would have called the police. It proves he's pure evil. And other people to show up to her and harm her. They were the first religious group there to help out hurt people. Because the back of his truck says Jesus on it. And he thinks Jesus means to kill and rape and destroy. That's Satan, honey. Oh, and when the FBI, police, when you go to arrest everybody, make sure you add him. How he was in that agent's office where the FBI said how dumb they were to come in there. Well, Mr. Dumbbell over there is so proud he's a dumbbell, he can't shut his mouth. How he thinks he defrauded that agent. Okay, I'm going to blow this.